Okay, people, I'm down here in New Orleans to see my boy Rich DeBerry at La Fundacion. But we in a city that don't really go to sleep. Uber's pulling up. We're finna go to Bourbon Street. We'll go to Rich in about 4 or 5 hours from now. We're not gonna sleep either, so we're gonna grab something to eat somewhere near Bourbon. We're on Bourbon Street, we're kicking it. I've introduced Miles to some chicken fingers made by black people. So check this out. We got the police right here. This is what they ride around in. So motherfucker, you better not be over 6 feet tall up in here. Some people shouldn't be singing at all. We have to cut it short tonight because we got to get up and hit the road to see my guy Rich. We are in Tickfall, Louisiana. It's 5:34 a.m. We slept 0.1 minute. I called Rich yesterday. He said, call him when we're on our way. I text him. We get here, this motherfucker sleep. All right, people, today I'm with the man, Richard DeBerry of La Fundacion. And I had to come here at Tickfall, Louisiana.
I am the owner of La Fundacion K9, which is a Canario Kennel. I also am the owner of La Fundacion K9 Academy. We train dogs. And I am the owner of The Foundation Raw, which is your premium dog food company.
What's important to me is the best food that an infant can get from his parents is, for the mother, is what? Breast milk.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Right. Mm-hmm. And we know that we probably grew up on Gerber, the can that you got at the store, right?
Yes.
But now what people are doing now who are new parents or repeat parents, they're making their own food at home.
Yeah.
Organically, right? So now we transition that on to what is good for puppies and adult dogs. Because you know, puppies, large breed dogs, sometimes they don't stop growing till they're about almost 2 years of age.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
And the most important thing for a dog is what? Food.
Nutrition.
Right, nutrition.
Man.
What I really love about Rich DeBerry's product is not only does he sell tripe, which has a combination of the organs, the hearts. Oh, he's taking calls at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it don't stop.
It don't stop, non-stop,
Really
won't stop, can't stop. Not only does he have the regular premium beef blend that I usually get to play it safe, right? But he has venison, which I didn't know means deer.
You didn't know venison?
No.
But here's the thing. A lot of people don't know that.
No.
Just like in the ultimate blend, you have pollock, and a lot of people don't know
pollock
fish.
is.
Yeah. But pollock is a fish, so you get your omega-3, 6, and 9, which is critical for the dog coat and skin. That's the ultimate blend right here. The premium is right here.
Right here.
And this is the heritage.
The heritage.
And the heritage is
for black folks only. Just kidding.
You stupid. And look, the heritage is to me is one of my that's like my first blend. That's my first blend of raw dog food is the heritage. So that blend will always be special to me because that's where I started.
So we got premium, we got heritage.
Yeah, premium, heritage, essential. You also have classic, which I don't have up here, but classic is just all raw meat for like people that's feeding puppies and stuff.
Right.
Then you have your heron, you have your bison, and I also have venison, like you were saying to your point.
Right. So understand this, people. This is not for human consumption.
No.
By far. We don't know what it tastes like. I know some people asking me, well, what if you cook it anyway? Go ahead and try it. Play with it. We ain't doing it.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. If it was a life and death situation I had to eat, I promise you I eat it.
What made you get into the raw food for animals?
Being a nerd.
Right.
And you know, and it's funny because in school I was never a nerd. But the older I got, the more mature, the more I wanted to research and learn the why behind it. I had always fed kibble because that's what you were taught to do. You saw your mother, your father, your grandparents feeding kibble, so you feed kibble.
Pedigree.
Yeah. Let me look at kibble versus raw, and it was mind-blowing. First, I didn't understand how kibble was even made.
Right.
And why it was made, how it's over-processed, and it's one of the leading causes to cancer for dogs. And then you saw raw, and you saw less vet bills, cleaner teeth, less stools.
Less poop, yes.
Yeah.
Poop, it takes longer to process.
Yes, and you know why? Because they're actually absorbing the nutrients and not it out. So when you buy kibble, you see all that the dog is your money out. I did the research, and there was so much scientific evidence and proof, raw being better than kibble, I started making it myself. I bought this big grinder that's down here that I ain't using forever. I was sitting here for hours just grinding. I had 7 dogs, so I had all these bowls lined up, and I'm thinking I'm being cool, but I'm looking at the time because I'm busy.
We wake up with an agenda.
Yeah, I'm 3 hours in feeding dogs. I'm like, this kibble versus raw is great, and the raw is the way, but man, it's taking 3 hours. My boy said, why you don't get it made? It was like,
Ding!
I ended up finding a manufacturer that's been manufacturing raw dog food for close to 40 years. Matter of fact, when greyhound racing was huge in the country.
Now they call it cruel.
Yeah, everybody used to race greyhounds. It was the biggest thing ever. They were actually the #1 raw dog food company for racing greyhounds.
Wow.
That's who makes this.
And people, Dobermans are part greyhound.
Yeah.
So you know.
Look, there you go.
I had to put it out there.
There you go. So this is actually manufactured. It's consistent, which is critically important. It's always the same. It doesn't change.
So now, I noticed we have different sizes, but I think I remember you had a 5-pound tube.
Yes, I do.
So you got 5-pound tubes.
Yep.
2.5-pound tubes, right?
2 pounds.
2-pound tubes.
Yep.
And we got the
1 pound.
1-pound tube. So people, if you're trying to figure it out to see what your dog, first of all, your dog's gonna like all that, right? But if you wanna try it as a trial basis, I recommend the 2-pound tubes.
Yeah.
Right, I really do, because even the smaller dogs, because you can always cut them up and then put the rest in the refrigerator or the freezer, right? Then you'll be able to see, and if you want to transition raw from kibble to raw, I recommend mixing it with the kibble.
Yeah, you do. It's actually on my website at ifeedraw.com. I have an educational tab where you can just click on it, because a lot of people are intimidated. Like, how do I feed raw? I heard this, I heard that, I heard it make the dog aggressive. That ain't true. It ain't true at all.
A vampire.
Yeah.
When we taste the blood.
You taste the blood, the teeth start growing up.
Yeah.
Like, no. But I have an educational tab on the website where it educates you on how simple it is to transition your dog from kibble to raw. On Instagram and Facebook is actually The Foundation Raw. If you type in The Foundation Raw, I'm gonna pop up on Facebook or Instagram. We ship out on Mondays. You typically have your food by Wednesday. If you're somewhere in a little corner of the country, it may take Thursday, but ship every Monday.
Also, at the end of this video, end of this episode, we're gonna give you a discount code. It's only gonna be good for how many days? 30 days?
No, it'd be good for whenever they use it.
Whenever you use it.
Yeah,
so
whenever
now,
you use it.
when you use it, you get a discount
Yep.
on all the product. And trust me, that discount that he gives you,
It adds
not
up.
me, it adds the up.
Yeah.
So, and yes, I buy my dog food from him. So trust me, no freebies on this here. I noticed that when we used to ship air. And I said, well, you know what? It gets to me fast, but I'm on the West Coast, you're Central, 3 days ground good. Guess what? Still frozen. How are you shipping it so people will know that it won't come with dripping blood, it's come lukewarm? How are you shipping and how are you processing the shipping on this thing?
Packaging wise, it's done in a styrofoam cooler. It's frozen when we ship it out. And
Solid.
Solid blocks. And then you have those peak moments in the summer where it will unthaw some.
It's very little.
Yeah, it will unthaw some. And just because of the transition, the food is still cold. You have a certain temperature that we know it won't hit as far as getting too warm to where it's unsafe for your dog. So it's frozen. When it's sent out, get to you on Wednesday, and it's still cold, if not completely frozen. And all you have to do is take it, throw it in the freezer, take one of the sleeves out, put it in the sink, and let it unthaw like you would do if you want to cook for yourself. Then get your portion and feed it to your dog.
I've been buying raw tripe and raw food for many, many years, almost 15 years now. And I've seen the benefits of feeding raw. Less poop. They poop every 12 hours versus when they do kibble.
And it's typically once a day.
Yeah. And here's the deal. When you put them on your dog on a program, you kind of know when they're going to poop. Right?
Yes.
So I bought raw tripe from Texas Tripe. I don't them no more. Customer service is horrible to me. And I used to buy tripe from Roger at Texas Tripe. Good dude, but he's gotten big now, right? But I like that personal touch. I like to know that my stuff is shipping out Monday. I like to know that I got a variety to choose from. That's important. And I like
Hold on. This was important if I was a customer. If I have a problem, how is it getting handled and how efficiently, how fast it's getting handled.
Hashtag facts.
If my customer, if I got my phone in my hand,
He's
I
got his
don't
phone
have
too.
regular business hours, so let's be clear. If a customer right now texts me and they have an issue with their food, if you okay with emailing, texting me at 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm up and I'm an upper, I'm gonna call you, figure out your problem, I'm gonna get on it immediately. If I have an issue with a company or a product or something, I don't wanna wait to try to, well, what they gonna do? I just spent my money. I wanna handle right now.
Right.
And I give people my cell phone number, 225-888-0025. Like, you can get me.
That's the work phone. Now, he ain't gonna give you that personal.
This goes everywhere. But yeah, I have another personal phone.
Right.
Too, yeah.
But that's important, you guys.
It is. The customer service, like, I grew up with a hospitality. I went to college for hospitality, hotel, restaurant, institutional management. So I know a lot about hospitality and customer service. And without taking care of your customers, you're nothing.
First of all, I have no patience. My life is already inundated with to do the next day before the next day comes, right? People want to get paid. I pay fast. So if I give you my money, I want my done expeditiously.
Correct.
I tell people now, because the world has changed now. 15 years ago, customer service centers were in the United States. I say customer service is dead. If you want to still deal with customer service where people speak your language, you don't ask them to repeat 2 and 3 times, get with somebody who actually handles business. If there's a problem with the order, guess what? Call Rich.
Yeah, cool.
I'm gonna show you the fat content, which is less than 6% on this right here versus hamburger meat that we actually consume. You tell me which one would you eat if we're gonna take the Pepsi Coca-Cola challenge? We're gonna take the meat challenge right here on which one is more healthier, which to the eye. Look like a powder, look at that. Looks like we got baby powder mixed with meat.
That's weird, right?
Yeah, that looks really weird.
I never
we eat.
Yeah, I never.
What does it smell like?
I've never really done this. Like I've done this, like cut open to the side by side before, but to really look at what we eat, and I've never took the time to analyze the meat. And most people don't even smell the meat; they just open up and cook and start eating it. But anyhow.
And you guys, you want to wonder why dogs 30 years ago were living 15, 16 years, and now they're dying at 5 or 6.
Yeah,
it's the food.
It's proven, and it's not. I mean, it ain't 5 or 6. It's more like 9 or 10.
You're doing good if you get out of 10 years.
Usually 16 years a dog would live, but not no more.
Look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh. That's when you talk about fresh, right there. Now look at this, and look at this. Which one would you eat?
Big difference.
There you go. There's your Pepsi challenge. That's the meat challenge right there.
That's wild, ain't it?
If I was a betting man to look for what tastes good, what's versus fresh, what's
if I was eating a steak,
I'm getting that.
If you know how they got the display boards out, like which one pick? I'll pick some meat that look like that.
No, like
I'm picking that.
Meat. That look like meat just got cut.
Yeah, this is like Texas Roadhouse.
Yeah.
You got the whole display of meat. Which one you want to pick? Like,
look at this. When he cut it, this was ready. This is not. This is fresh blood right here. Look at it. Look at it. That is what you want your dogs to eat. He's got 5-pound tubes versus the 2-pound tubes. So guess what? Size really does matter.
If you have big dogs, most people that have big dogs typically go with your a 5-pound chub because you don't have to keep unthawing a bunch of 2s. Your smaller dog, 2 is easier. It's less to have to keep putting in the refrigerator, take out, and the shelf life on it is just like any other beef. You put it in the refrigerator. I wouldn't leave it in there for 6-7 days and feed it, but 3 or 4 days it's still good. 5 days tops, I would stretch it to feed your dog, so it's not gonna just go bad. You can, and it's also you can refreeze it. So if I can actually cut this, put it in a Ziploc bag, and throw it back in the freezer. It's still completely safe for the dogs.
The most beautiful thing in regards to feeding raw is when you can administer medicine like pills and shit within the meat.
And it's so
and they gonna eat that.
They gonna eat it. It's not like you put it in Kibble and they eat around and they see they like.
Do you know how many times I had to pull my dog's mouth open? I put some water in my mouth.
That's a good point for a dog person. Like,
yeah, I put water in my mouth. I got pills on my head. I got to grab my dog's mouth, open it up, put the pills in, and spit water in his mouth so he won't spit the pill out.
Yes. Yeah.
or grab his throat and do this right here.
Yep.
But you mix it in with this,
He's
he's gonna get his medicine.
That's what I'm working on now.
Yeah, wow.
My dog trailer, I got those white impact crates.
Yeah.
I plan on having 12 so I can take 12 dogs in at one time.
I got me a presser now. Remember that show called Old Yeller, the lab? Same color. What made you decide to keep her? This is one of your breedings?
Yeah, that's my project puppy right now. Her mom, I flew in from Serbia, and her dad also is one of my top dogs, which is Greedy. The mom ended up, she had 7 puppies. She had 6 here at the house. So I took her to the vet to have a C-section because she wasn't having the last puppy, and they lost her at the vet. I planned on keeping a puppy out that breeding anyway because it's an incredible crossing. But then when that happened, I was forced.
You had to keep.
I had to.
Yeah.
Because I needed the blood in the program. She's super drivey. You see how drivey she is? She want to work.
And she doesn't have no environmental issues.
None. The front end is freaking nice. Look at that. I mean, and this is a female dog. It's not a male. And she's built and stacked like a male dog.
I like females that are heavy looking.
Yes.
Like females that look like males.
Me too.
If you got a good female as a breeding foundation.
That people don't realize, like, people always want a male. I'm like, look, I want a female.
Yeah.
Like, I'm basing my entire program around the females because that's where you're gonna get most of the look of your puppy from. It's from the female, not the male.
The bitch is more important than the stud.
Yes, it is.
Right? Well, what is the physical difference between a presser and a Cane Corso?
That's a very good question. To me, a Cane Corso is like the wide receiver. Real quick, real flashy, a little bit lighter, and it's actually more athletic, personally, and in my opinion, than a presser. So a presser is like your running back.
Yeah.
Muscularly strong, powerful, fast, and will run you over. And I'm not biased because I have a presser.
Right.
I find that I get a lot of Corsos that come in for training that are not confident dogs. They're very scary dogs. They become nervy. When they get around 15 to 20 months old, 24 months old, this is gonna resonate what I'm about to say to somebody. They start biting their owners kids, because you got a dominant breed dog that has just genetically environmental issues where it's not confident, and they start biting their owners. Last year, I had 6 Corsos that came in for training that I said, hey, this dog is not a confident dog, and all 6 of them ended up biting their owner, their neighbor, their friend, and had to rehome all 6 of the dogs.
Wow.
I don't see that in the Presser Canario community as a whole. What you do see in Presser community is a lot of dogs that people call pressers that aren't pressers. So you'll get faked out in the Presser community world thinking you're buying a presser, and it ain't a presser. Then you come here and be like, why your dogs look so different? Like, that's a presser. But I thought no, that's a presser. You'll see a lot more fuller chest of the dog, typically a bigger bone structure, longer in length.
Do AKC recognize pressers in their registry?
AKC, they have a program called FSS. So all of my dogs are registered through AKC FSS program, which is it's a new breed. They're trying to recognize the breed to make them fully recognized by AKC. I'm actually on the Presser Canario Community Club board, and I'm working on getting the dog fully recognized from the FSS program to be able to go compete at the Westminster Confirmation Show, go do the Yuba Canuba Dog Show. So right now they can still compete, but they can't compete in all the shows. Like a lot of they don't have titles, they have certificates of merits. But I can still do like the Fast Cats, I can still do show competitions, I can still do a lot of the sport work and get titles and stuff and form that way.
Yeah, I know that the Dutch Shepherds were not quote unquote registered in AKC, but when they do recognize them in AKC registry, they have to show DNA tests.
But here's one thing I like about AKC, speaking of DNA tests. When I register the dog, I gotta DNA swab them out. You don't have to do that with UKC.
No.
AKC wanna make sure that when you breed the puppy, that the mom and dad is who they say they are.
Right.
So it's not a lot of, it makes it harder to hang papers because you got to swab every dog's mouth.
They do that with me. They do that with me. Like when I import a dog, of course, you get AKC certificates, but you got to get the DNA put on file. But also, if you have a dog here in the United States, and if you breed them more than 4 times, they say you got to get them DNA tested now. They are the elite of the elite when it comes to registry.
And that's why all my dogs, I want elite.
What I like about her is that she's confident to strangers. You can take her to Home Depot. There's no issues.
Here.
She's completely comfortable. When it's time to work her, she's gonna work. What do we say about raw dog food? Give it to them raw.
These are the only 2 of these in America.
What are those?
These are called Ratonero Palmeras. They're from the Canary Islands. Nobody else has these dogs here in America.
Ratoneros?
Ratonero Palmera.
So they chase rats?
Yes, they were bred to chase rats. From all the ships and stuff and cargo coming in the Canary Islands, those dogs were trained, they were bred to catch and kill like cats. Yeah. This dog right here, very famous breeder, Canary Islands. Eduardo bred this dog. He been breeding dogs for Pressa for over 40 years, and that's one of, he actually produced one of the best Pressa Canarios in the history of the breed, a dog named Andy. That's my first dog right here, my oldest Pressa. That's Gracie. I imported her in from Bulgaria. Her bloodline is Ricardo Ramos, Las Cardanas, I mean. But that's my oldest dog, that's my baby.
She retired now?
She has one more breed and that's it.
Look at these boys!
Puppies!
Look at them!
I bought the parents from some of the longest Pressa Canario breeders in the Canary Islands. A guy named Jacinto Martin, he bred a dog, he's upstairs, named Urian. That's the father. Then Eduardo is another, Jacinto been breeding for 45 years, Eduardo for 40 years. They're not friends.
Right.
So 4 years ago, I realized they were some of the top breeders. I bought a puppy from each. I took their dogs. I got the 2 top breeders in the world and bred their dogs, and that's those puppies.
You have a waiting list all the time?
All the time. All the time. This is Greedy, man.
Yeah, that's a big one.
On whim a lot, but he's in his 150 range.
And he's lean too.
Yeah, and he's lean.
See,
I don't want no fat dog.
You don't want no Coke can.
No.
I let the puppies be fat now.
Yeah, the puppy's fat, but when we get a dog, no.
Yeah. I like the last 2 ribs or so. I like a waistline.
Look at them.
Yeah, I see
them ribs.
He's all muscle.
Yeah.
I'm noticing supplements right here too.
Yes. And that, I'm actually coming out with my own line of supplements first of the year.
Nice.
So compared to having like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different bottles, it's gonna be one thing that's gonna cover everything.
That's one of your top studs?
Yeah, he is the top. Whenever I say I'm breeding Greedy, the puppies are sold.
I know that some of them have the whites on their chest. Is that a desired trait, or they want one with no white on their chest? I know Adobe's weak.
Listen,
that's a defect.
that's a really good question. In the Pressa world, it doesn't matter as long as it's not more than 20% white on the dog.
Got it.
The important part is, you see on these dogs, you have a black mask.
Yes.
You'll see a lot of so-called Pressas that don't even have a black mask.
Right.
The entire face is fawn or the entire face is brindle. So when you're looking at a Pressa, the dog should have a black mask, period.
When I pick a dog, a Doberman, right, the gums gotta be dark in the mouth.
Yep.
The eyes gotta be almond color. The head has to be right. The scissors.
The scissor bite.
Right. It's gotta be that way. It's gotta have the bone structure, everything. The top line, the bottom line.
Has to be right.
Yes.
That's what I breed for. This is a female. I mean, look at the chest. Chest is on her. Mass. Top line good. Super drivey dog. If that bot collar went on, I'm telling you, she be going nuts trying to get at y'all right now. This is Greedy's son.
How old is he?
He's rated at a little bit over 2 years old.
Okay.
So he's not even a fully grown, developed dog. This is that dog's mom. Now, when we're talking pedigree, we're talking quality, right?
Yes.
This dog's father was the top dog. It was like winning the Westminster Dog Show in Europe. Her dad won the whole show.
Wow.
A dog named Enzo. So when we're talking pedigrees, we're talking quality, I have it.
It was a pleasure coming down
Pleasure
here.
of mine,
You
man.
know, 5 acres, guys. I'm gonna tell you something. This is beautiful. You got more to build on. You got more raw land still.
Bro, it's coming. That's what when you get a chance and you're walking around, I'm clearing all this out. I'm gonna make dog courses, agility courses. It's gonna be all back here, my fast cat stuff. Will all be set up back here for the dogs to run and actually.
And he's gonna sell the lumber. He's making money by moving the land.
Hey, lumber ain't worth nowadays.
God
I
damn.
promise. Yeah.
But anyway, appreciate it.
Yeah, bro.
All right.
Thank you.
Listen,
Thank you.
and we always said, it says, when we doing raw dog food, we do what?
Give it
to
to
them
'em
raw.